welcome to Friday's second edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Second edition because Mark did a crossword video earlier. I was out of action this morning because I had a golf match, and so Mark kindly stepped into the breach to tackle what I understand was an incredibly difficult John Henderson crossword puzzle, and I am apparently slated to have a go at the same puzzle later on, and that video will go on Patreon. So if you want more cryptic crossword content, it should be coming up soon. But what is this video about? That is a good question. This video, I'm going to tackle a puzzle called 19 Crimes by Fenners. Now, Fenners is an interesting name, and Mark commented on this. Mark did a Fenners puzzle a couple of nights ago on the channel and mentioned that he wasn't sure whether Fenners was a nickname or anything. And Fenners revealed his surname in response to that video. And I have a feeling, and I don't feel it's out of place for me to say this now, I think Fenners might be a British Olympian. I might be wrong about that, but wouldn't this be incredible if this was by a British Olympic athlete? I really hope that's true, and I'm not misleading everybody. Fenners will have to confirm or deny, hopefully, in the comments to this video. But it just tickles me pink to think somebody with so much athletic prowess may also have an awful lot of mental prowess as well. The puzzle's called 19 Crimes, and that put me in mind of Damian Rice, who's incredible. Damian Rice is an incredible musician. His album O is still in my top 10 albums. Yes, I keep lists of these things of all time. But he released a song called 9 Crimes, which was incredibly beautiful. I think Lisa Hannigan was still recording with him on that song. And if I do get a chance, I'm definitely going to try and record a musical intro to that. So it'll be 2 and 1 night's intros worth of Damian Rice corresponding to this title in this puzzle. Now, this puzzle also has had an absolute... We've had so many recommendations to try this. And to give you an idea of how much it's loved, I just snipped some comments on Logic Masters Germany. People like Ictus, who actually wrote an email to us as well about this one, saying, please do this on the channel. Snooker Fan, who's a fantastic solver, fabulous puzzle. Everyone's just going, it's absolutely brilliant. Chinstrap, what an incredible puzzle. Sudoku, incredible puzzle. So, yeah, Fenners making waves in the Sudoku world as well as the Olympic world. Maybe. I hope I'm not misleading people. Anyway, it would be great to know. Now, what else can I tell you about? I've mentioned that over on Patreon there might be a crossword video from me later. Also, of course, the main stuff over on Patreon is our monthly competition, which is themed, of course, for April on April Fools. This was the state of play probably a couple of days ago. It says 19 minutes ago. Can that be true? I haven't refreshed this, although my computer's been turned on and off, so maybe this is a fresh number. I'm not sure. But I actually got a bigger version. This is the potential prize. If you're one of the 538, you could be in line to win Emily Williams. This is it. Look at that. That's it in all its glory. Isn't it absolutely fantastic? It's a real Sudoku pattern. I don't know actually if it corresponds to a real solve that either Emily did or Mark and I have done on the channel at some point. But look at that. Isn't that beautiful? So this is the prize. And let's see where we are. Reload. 538. Yes. Nearly 600. Nearly 600 of our patrons have solved. I think that is incredible. Incredible. All 10 puzzles. I mean, 1,500 people have solved the Whisper puzzle. Really well done. The closing date is the 20th, so not long now. But do get your entries in by some sort of time on the 20th. to be in with a chance of winning the prize. And I can tell you last month's prize, which wasn't nearly so sort of homemade as this month's prize. Last month's prize was the chance to make a Sudoku video with me. And Dominic and I did just that the other night, which Wednesday night, wasn't it? What day are we on? We're on Friday. So on Wednesday night, Dominic and I have made or solved a puzzle. It was a brilliant puzzle. It was by somebody called 789, so sort of 789, called Fault Lines. And it's a brilliant puzzle. And anyway, Dominic did fantastically well. And we're going to release that video on the channel. I think the plan is, hopefully, 10 AM on Monday as a bonus video. So if you're bored on your Easter weekends, hopefully there'll be something else to watch then. Now, what else? Let me look at my list. I've got one birthday to do today. Kieran. Well, I say today, I'm hoping that I'm getting the time zones right, because Kieran is in New Zealand and it's his birthday on Saturday, and by the time this video goes live, which is 8:30 on Friday night in the UK, I think it will be Saturday in New Zealand. And Kieran has turned 18 and amusingly it wrote about the fact that in their university magazine a Sudoku was published which featured Sudoku had 2 4s in the same 3x3 box. What's going on there? You should certainly have complained, Kieran. It reminds me of that a politician in the UK who was sort of making a play to become, I think, leader of the Tories. I think it was Robert Jenrick, and produced a special paper at the Tory party conference, like a newspaper. And the Sudoku in that was either not unique or it had several of the same digit in a box as well. And I do think it's important that you're going to publish Sudoku. They should be logical. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, I'm distracted again now, aren't I? Anyway, why don't we do some solving before I distract myself even more? Let's have a look at 19 crimes. I think this is 3 out of 5 on the difficulty scale, so hopefully it will be doable, but we shall see. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Killer cages. Digits in cages do not repeat and sum to the value in the upper left corner. All cages sum to 19. So they do. Yes, there are 5 cages in the puzzle and they all sum to 19. I suppose hence the title, 19 crimes. I don't know what that refers to apart from 19 cages. Anyway, marked diagonals. Digits cannot repeat along the positive and negative diagonal marked with a blue line. So I think that means that diagonal there has the digits 1 to 9 once each on it, and this diagonal here has the digits 1 to 9 once each on it. You may wonder, I used to wonder this, why it's called positive and negative diagonal. It's because mathematically, if you were to plot a graph of y versus x, this diagonal here would have a negative gradient, so it's referred to as the negative diagonal, and this one would have a positive gradient, and so that one is the positive diagonal, just in case you were wondering. German whispers. Okay, adjacent digits on a green line must differ by at least 5. So if this square here was a 1, this would have to be at least equal to 6 in order to be at least 5 different from 1. So it could be 6, 7, 8 or 9. And they are, let me just check the scrolling is finished. Yes, they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. So, how are we going to get cracking in this puzzle? I mean, maybe we should start by talking about some of the secrets of whispers. Because German whispers lines are strange and interesting creatures. A bit like me. That's what my sister would say anyway. No, she wouldn't. She would just say strange. She wouldn't. No, definitely the interesting part of that would not pass her lips. Anyway, so these are strange and interesting creatures. They gain the adjective of interesting. And why? Well, you can't put 5 on them. Is the first thing to realise about a whispers line. If you put 5 on it, this digit has to be 5 different at least from this digit. So if we go up we get to 10 and higher, they aren't Sudoku numbers. If we go down, we get to 0 and lower, they aren't Sudoku numbers. So no 5s on whispers lines. Now, that leads to an interesting property, that word again, because if this, let's say this digit here is lower than 5, can that digit also be lower than 5? And the answer is, of course, no, because these two digits now can only be 3 apart if they were 4 and 1. 3 apart is not enough to be 5 apart. So what you find is you get this oscillation. You'll keep having to go lower than 5, higher than 5. Of course, what we don't know is how this, we don't know whether this cell that starts the line is lower or higher than 5. So we don't know whether it's going low, 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 or whether it's going high, 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 high. Nori, nori. We don't know that yet, but that is something that it will do. And so will this one, which is very nearly the same shape, except it's got a little tail on it. So, what do we do here? That is the question. I don't think there is any particular property. Oh no, I'm going to be wrong, aren't I? I was going to say there's no particular property about a 5-cell 19 cage, but I think it must have a 1 in it. And yeah, I'm sort of getting to that from the fact that I know that the triangular number for 6 is 21. So, i.e., what's 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6? So I know if I miss a 1 out from that, I get 20. In other words, a 5-cell cage that didn't have a 1 in it would have a minimum value of 20, not 19. So there is definitely a 1 in all of these cages. And that feels like it might matter. But because there's only one 1 on the diagonal, obviously. Oh, hang on, is that doing something? Let me just think about that. I feel like that's almost trying to point 1s at this whisper line, in the sense that, imagine one of those 3 squares was a 1. Well, then the 1s in boxes 3 and 7 would have to be in these squares, and they would be looking at this whisper line. No, I don't think that's good enough, though. I was wondering whether there are 2 digits on whisper lines that are quite tricky to place if you have to put them on the line. So, for example, a 4 or a 6 are tricky, because could you put 4 or a 6 in any of those positions on this whisper? And the answer is no, because they're sort of monogamous digits. They only have a single partner. If you put 4 here, 4 has to be next to 9. So you'd have to do this. And that's obviously going to break Sudoku. If this is 6, then you have to do 1 in both of those positions. So I was just wondering whether we'd have a problem on this line. But actually we wouldn't, because you can put 4 here. So if 1 was pointing at this, I mean the other point as well is you could put 2 and 3 on the line without difficulty. It must be something to do. One of the cages on the positive diagonal has a 9 in it, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. And we know that because there is a 9 on this diagonal. And wherever that 9 goes, it sits in a cage that has 5 cells in it, where the other 4 digits will have to add up to 10. And they would have to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, because that's the minimum 4 different digits can add up to. Yeah, okay, so that's quite interesting, because that means that on this diagonal, 8 is also in a specified cage. Hang on. So on this diagonal, 1 cage is going to be that, because we have to put 9 on the diagonal. Now, once we put 9 on the diagonal, 8 has to go on the diagonal somewhere, not in the cage that has the 9 in it, obviously. Now the 8 is going to be accompanied with 4 digits that add to 11, and there's only one way to do that, which is that. So the 6 and the 7 have to be in the same cage on this diagonal. That's weird. So 6, 7... Yeah, it does work. 6, 7, 1, 2, 3 would be a 19 cage. So every single cage... Okay, hang on. So my pencil mark is totally it's not bogus, it's just totally misunderstanding the point. The point is not that 1 is in all of these cages. The point is 1, 2 and 3 are in all of these cages. No, I was wondering about the whispers then actually for a moment, because obviously there has to be a low digit on both of those whispers, but that digit could be 4. So it's not, we aren't forced to have a 1, 2 or a 3 in one of those squares and one of those squares. Oh, I see. That's very pretty. Good grief. Right. So we do need to think about this. Right. It's okay. I was looking at 1 pointing at here and 1 pointing at here. I'm going to change that now. How am I going to do? Well, yeah, I think this puzzle is about 1s, 2s and 3s. Now, why do I think that? It's because... I just want to check my logic here. Hang on a second. Yeah, I think I'm right. So, here is a question about this cage here. Is it possible, we know this cage has 1, 2 and 3 in it. Is it possible the 1, 2 and the 3 are there? Now, hopefully you're going to say no, and you'd be right. Because in this stretch of digits, we know we're going to oscillate polarity. So I'm actually going to shade this now. I still don't, by the way, I still don't know how it's going to resolve. What colour should we have? Oh, that's quite pretty, yeah. So, I know that either the green digits are low or the purple digits are low. And when I say low, I mean 1, 2, 3 or 4. So, if all 3 of these digits were 1, 2 and 3, we would have too many 1s, 2s and 3s in this row, or 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s in this row, because there must be a 1, 2 or 3 in either of those 2 squares or those 2 squares. So that's too many. So we can't put 1, 2 and 3 in here. Now what does that mean? It means in the blue cage there is at least one of 1, 2 and 3 in those 2 cells. At least one. But there's actually only one, I think, because that logic I've just done up here applies exactly the same here, doesn't it? Can those 3 squares be 1, 2, 3? No, same reason. We've still got 4, so we've got 2 low digits in that string of digits. So there is a low digit in at least one of these squares. But look at the middle box. Is it possible that none of those three squares are 1, 2 and 3? No, because every one of these 19 cages has all 3 digits in it. So if we try and cram the digits 1, 2 and 3 into those 2 cells, we will obviously fail. One of these cells would have to contain 2 digits. That's not possible. So one of those 3 digits is 1, 2 or 3 as well. And so there's a 1, 2, 3 in one of those, a 1, 2, 3 in one of those, and a 1, 2, 3 in one of those. That's all the 1s, 2s and 3s for this row, this diagonal. That means this digit and this digit, this is going to be important, isn't it? These two digits are definitely, well, they're not 1s, 2s and 3s, are they? Does that matter? Well, it might do, is the answer. Okay, I'm going to... Alright, I thought I was going to do better, actually, but then I was worried. I thought I was going to be able to use this whisper, but I've realised this could be a 4, and that's very annoying indeed. No. Oh, it's not. I'm wrong. Okay, well, I'm wrong about what I thought was going to happen next. Okay, I'm now going to look at this box exclusively. Now, we know this digit is not 1, 2 or 3. But more important than that, and I think this is the point, there's only one of 1, 2 and 3 in those two squares. Because if these were both 1, 2 and 3, we'd have 4 of 1, 2 and 3 at least on this diagonal, and that can't work. We've got exactly one of those is 1, 2 and 3, exactly one of these is 1, 2 and 3, and exactly one of those two is 1, 2 and 3. So those two squares are definitely 1, 2 and 3. These two squares, by the same logic, are definitely 1, 2 and 3. And now I understand. I understand how this line works. Because remember what we said? We said either these green digits are from the 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, or these purple digits are from the 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. Well, can those be 1, 2, 3 and 4? This is a beautiful setup, by the way, Fenners. It is beautiful. It's Olympic. It's an Olympic standard idea. Because look, if green was low, which one of these are we making 4? Because we've got to make one of them a 4. Remember, 4 goes next to 9 if it's on a whisper. So if that's a 4, both of those are 9. If that's a 4, both of these are 9. That will not work. So purple is low digits. And which one of these is 4? Well, it can't be that one, because that would be surrounded by double 9. So this is our first digit. That's 4. That's 9. And I think the same... Yeah, it's the same logic, isn't it, in this column? That's got to be 4, that's got to be 9. Better get rid of these aide memoirs. Now, now, we've got some lovely digits in the puzzle. Oh, now this can't be 4. Ah, yeah, that's good. So this digit, which a moment ago could have been 4, is now not 4 by Sudoku, and it's not 5 because it's on a whisper, so that is a high digit. It's 6, 7 or 8, and that tells us this corner digit must be low by polarity along the whisper. So that's 1, 2 or 3, and that digit is not a 1, 2 or 3, because we've now discovered the identity, or the positioning at least, of the 1s, 2s and 3s in box 3. So this digit is, well, I don't know, but it's not 9. I know that, because remember 9 is going with a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, and I can't put four, those two squares are not 4 and 9, are they? So this square is either 6, 7 or 5, because these two squares have to add up to 13. Okay. Now, so what can we do with that? I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, but I can, by symmetry almost, I can do the same thing here, can't I? In the sense that I know one of those two cells is a 1, 2 or a 3. So this little S-shaped pentomino here cannot be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 pentomino that adds up to 19, because where am I putting 4 and 9 in here? They can't go into those squares, because then this square would need to be a 1, 2, 3, and it can't be. So this one is one of those other ones. So it's one of the ones that's got either 5, 8 or 6, 7. So that square, I suppose, is either 5, 8 or 6, 7. It would be nice to know which of these was the friend of this one that's adding up to 13, wouldn't it? Okay, but the middle box now is the one that's got the 9 in it. So this box is 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Those are not 4. That's not 4. That's not 9. Oh, I see. So this one is now low. So that one's high. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is great. Yeah, because this is low on the whisper, this is a high digit on the whisper, so it is no longer yellow. Whoops. It's 6, 7, 8 or 9. Oh, it's not 9. It's the counterpart of this that adds up to 13 with it. So this can't be 5, so that can't be 8. Yeah, okay, so this can't be 4, because if this was 4, this would be 9. And this is 1, 2, 3 in the corner. That is definitely true. So we've got all the yellow digits here. We've got one yellow digit in the middle box. That's the only place for 4 in the middle box. So that is not a yellow digit. And 2 of those 3 are yellow. Ah, but that digit, this is so lovely, isn't it? These tiny little whispers are doing things in the sense this digit here now can't be 1, 2, 3 or 4. So that's 6, 7 or 8, can't be 9. So this digit is 1, 2 or 3. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this box. I don't know what that means. It might mean something. 4 by Sudoku is in one of those cells. 4 by Sudoku is in one of these 3 cells. I mean, it's outrageous being made to do Sudoku in a Sudoku puzzle, but there we are. Okay. What does that mean then? This digit is 7 or 8. It can't be 6, and it's got to be high. It can't be 6 because 6 would have double 1 next to it. Now, come on. What are we meant to see next? So we know those 2 digits add up to 11. We know these 2 digits add up to 11. And can we do any better than that? Oh, I see. Look at the positive diagonal. I've got a 1, 2, 3 triple on it now. So that digit's 9. These 2 squares are not 9. Right, okay, so we've got all the yellows now in... Oh, hang on, maybe I should yellowify all of these. Yeah, let's do that, because yellow is my sort of low digit colour, isn't it? I mean, really low digit. Maybe that's going to help me to see... things. Ah, okay, this 19 cage now hasn't got a 9 in it. And it's only got 1 of 7 and 8 in it. So, right, this cage is under pressure. Okay, so what I've noticed is it hasn't got 9 in it by Sudoku, using this 9 on the diagonal. Now it can't have that digit in it, whatever it is. So let's max out what this can be. It could have 8 in it, but not 7. So let's say 8, 6, 5 is the maximum it could be. And 5, 6 and 8 add up to 19. So it must be that. It's 5, 6, 8, and that digit is a 7, and that's huge. That is huge, because what digits can you put next to 7 on a whisper? And the answer is 1s and 2s. That's all you can do. So that's 3. 3 now has to go next to 8, because that's the only digit that's 5 away from it that isn't 9. So this corner digit now is not 8. Those two squares are 4 and 9. By Sudoku, these squares are 5, 6 and 7 by Sudoku, and that's not 7. Right, so that is a 5, 6 pair on the negative diagonal, so these squares are 1, 2 and 4, which means we now know the polarity, look, of this whisper. This is beautiful. That can't be 4 actually, because if it's 4, if this square was 4, those two would both be 9. So that's 1 or 2. Which means this one, this one, this one, this one. These are all the low digits. So we'll use purple again for that. So these are all the bright green digits, the high digits. And what can we do with that? If this is not 4, that's a 1, 2 pair, which would be 3. So we'd need 16. They would be 7 and 9. If this is 4, what's the maximum? 6 for these. So these add up to at least 13. They couldn't be 6, 7, because you couldn't put a 6 in either of these positions. So these are from 7, 8, 9, aren't they? No, could it be, hang on, no, that might be wrong, sorry, it could be 6, 8. No, you can't put 6 at all. You just can't put 6, they are from 7, 8, 9. But they can't be 8, 9. Because if they were 8, 9, 8 and 9 add up to 17, and then these would both have to be 1. So one of these digits is a 7. And that 7 is going to be surrounded on two sides by a 1, 2 pair. Oh, this can't be a 4, look. If that was 4, this would be double 9 again. So, right, so that's 1, 2 or 3. That's 1, 2 or 3. 1s, 2s and 3s are yellow. That one's actually also yellow, because it can't be 4. So there's a 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's lovely. So there's a 1, 2, 3 triple in this column. That's lovely. So that's got to be 4. That's 4 in the corner, not worthy of a song. Right, but now this is a 1, 2 pair, so these do add up to 16, so they are 7 and 9. Now, can we do something with that? What are these two digits? These two digits both C9, so they're 6, 7 and 8. That one can't be 6 because it would be surrounded by double 1. That one might be able to be 6 if this was a 1. Now, we've done relatively well, haven't we, in the sense that we've now, have we used up all the information in the puzzle? Like, I mean, yes, I've still got to be careful about certain whisper relationships, but I've done all the cage totals. Yeah, okay, I've still got to sort out these, which way round these go. Let's think about this. In row 2, where is the digit 3? And the answer is in one of those two squares, so that is not a 3. Unfortunately, that doesn't put any pressure on the whisper. It would be much better if this was 3. A 3 in the corner, we could sing, and it would be making this square an 8, and that square a 5. It would do all sorts of things. In fact, it would really be powerful if that was 8, because it would do all of this stuff as well. Same thing's going on in column 2, look. There's a 3 in one of those two squares, so this square's not a 3. And 9 is in one of... Oh, hang on. This is big. Yeah, look, sorry, I didn't see this 4 looking up at this square. So that's a 4, but I've just noticed 9 was in these two squares as well. So that's a 9. Okay, I thought that would do things. It doesn't. 3 in... Oh, this is good. Where's 3? You can see in this column there's a 3 in one of those two squares. So where's 3 in this box? It's in one of those two squares. Now where's 3 in this box? And the answer is there. Oh, bobbins. So 3's in one of two. Can that be 3? Only if that was 9 and that was 8. Which might be possible. This square can't be 7. So this square can't be 6. Because remember these that we're trying to make these little, they're sort of offset dominoes add up to 13. Yeah, in this column we haven't put 5, 6 and 8 in, so this is 5, 6 or 8. Let's try and do the same thing here. That square can't be a 7 either, so this square can't be a 6. So have we got anything we can do along there? We've got, if that's 8, that's 5. That's 7, that's 6. And if that's 6, that's 7. And this is 8, and this is 5. And all of those things seem relatively okay, don't they, I think? Right, so we're going to have to think again. Anyway, what I was planning to do was to mark this square 5, 6 or 8. Now, where should we look for our next deduction? I hear you cry. I don't know is the answer. Golly, I really don't know. Have we got... Can I do anything with my yellow digits? The answer to that appears to be... I mean, there are some rows and columns where I've got a lot of stuff going on with yellow. I've got 1 and 2 on these squares, so they're different. Oh, that's... I see. This is a 3. Oh, that's nice. Look at the positive diagonal. I've got a 1, 2 pair. Where did that come from? Oh, yes, that's lovely. Right. So the moment this was a 1, 2 pair... Yeah, this is beautiful setting. Fenners, this is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, I just want to talk about this because I didn't appreciate it, but now I have. This being a 7, forcing these to be 1s and 2s, forcing 3s to be in these positions, made this a 1, 2 pair, and that of course is on this diagonal, making this square a 3. So this is an 8 now, and that's a 5. Those add up to 13. So this is a 7, and that's a 6. And 6 on a whisper has to go next to a 1. Oh, this is 2, 3 now. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 2, this is 1. Suddenly we're off to the races. That 7 is looking at that square, so that's a 9. This is a 7. 7 on a whisper has to go next to 1 and 2. This is an 8 by Sudoku. Good grief, that was very exciting for a moment. Unfortunately, I fear that we've just run out of steam with that, but it was good while it lasted. That's a 6, so neither of those two squares are 6s now. Can we do anything better? We've got a lot of... Oh no, I thought I was going to get 9 in column thingy. Oh, I've got 4 and 9. Yeah, there's a lot of symmetry with 4s and 9s. We had 4s and 9s here, plonking 4s and 9s here, and we've got 4s and 9s, look, doing something similar in this column. So those squares are 5 and 8. Right, there's all sorts going on in this row then. There's a 4-9 pair and a 5-6-8 triple. So these squares are 2, 3, 7, and that's not 3. Oh, bother. That felt like I thought that was going to do something. In this column, what do we need? Is it 3 and 5? Yeah, 3 and 5, I think. Which feels like it might be important. Not sure. Okay. Okay, let's ask the question. Have we used all of the whispers now? I've still got some ambiguity here. 7 is really restricted again. 7's got to be in one of those two cells. Yeah, is there more going on? Oh yeah, look, 7's got to be there. So 7 in the middle box is placed. It's got to be here. That takes 7 out of this square and this square. Let's double click our 7s again and see if we can do anything better. No, no, I'm not sure I can actually. Okay, so we're going to have to come up with something else. If this was 6, would we have a problem with the world? Because that would force this to be a 1. Don't think so. 3s? We do know a little bit about 3s, because we've got this 3, remember, in one of those two cells. 3s are up here. Oh, 3 isn't there. So 3s are in those two. I don't think it's quite good enough, actually. 3s are in one of those two. Oh, 3 over here? No, because this could be a 3. This little whisperage here. Okay. 1. This is a 1-3 pair. Where's 1 in box 4? It's in the same positions that I've got the 3 in. Now that must do something, doesn't it? So where's... Oh, I see. So 2 is in one of those squares. Okay, let's try 2s. No, I don't know. I'm not sure that does work, actually. This 3 is seeing that cell, so that's not a 3. So this is a 3. Okay, that's big. So that's 8. Oh, that's huge. Where's 8 in the bottom row? It's got to be here. So that's a 3. So this is a 5. I say that's... Yeah, this is an 8. This is a 5. This is a 5, that's a 6, that's an 8. Oh my goodness, here we go again. 5 and 6. This square is a naked 6 now. There's a 6 in one of those two cells. Oh, please keep going. I don't want the 7 and 8 are in those. Yeah, that's good. This is 8. This is 7. This is 7 by Sudoku. Either 7 is in one of those. 4 is not here. Right, what do we need in this box? 4, 6, 9. So, that square is a 4 or a 9. Whoops. These squares are 4, 6 or 9, but that can't be 9. And that one can't be 4. Okay, so there's a 4, 6, 9 triple. These two squares are 2 and 5, and we know the order, so that can go in. The 2 sees that square, so that's 3, that's 3, that's 2. Now, this is 3, this is 1. So in this row, what do we need? 6, that goes here. And in this column, we need 5 and 6, and we can do the order, so that's good. So this becomes 4, that becomes 4, that's 9, that's 9, that's 4, that's 9, that's 4, this is 6. 6 is in one of those two, and this row should be due. Oh, is this is 1 or 2, is it? I think. By Sudoku. We might have to colour the 1s and 2s. It's not impossible that that's where it's intended we're going to end up here. We'll try and do it without, but we might have to. 1, 5, 6. So this square's not 5. This square's not 6. 1, 5, 6. This square is 8. I feel like we've got all the 8s. We do. We've got all the 8s. We haven't got all the 7s. Now, where's the easy win? Okay, the bottom row. We must be able to do something here. Oh my goodness, 5, 7, and 9. So the 9 goes there. Look, which puts the 7 here, which is going to do the 7 at the top. 7, 2, 3. Oh. That's become a 1. Now, does that go through the grid? Maybe. Yeah, maybe it does, actually. Yes, yes, come on. Yeah, 1, 5. 5 here. And if we haven't made a ricket, 2, 6. What a beautiful puzzle. That is... you can totally see why Fenners is getting a name for himself in the world of Sudoku. That is beautiful, is it right? Yes. It is absolutely beautiful. World class is how I would describe that. I mean, every day on the channel, the puzzles we solve are world class because the testers go to the most extraordinary lengths to, you know, filter all of the recommendations we get so that we're only attempting the very best puzzles. And you guys recommend puzzles to us because you say they are brilliant. So perhaps when I said world class, I was being glib. What I meant was this is really, really outstanding. There's no complicated rules here. This is very standard stuff, and yet it's used in a new and innovative way. It's lovely. Along this diagonal that you can, that the 19 cages only have 3 formulations. That's weird. That's really strange, and yet it exists. And then it's beautiful that you can use, that Fenners has used that with these particular structures of 19 cages to sort of point at whispers, create 4 9 pairs. That then interacts in this box. The whole thing hangs together so incredibly well. It's brilliant. A brilliant puzzle. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and if they reveal any mysteries about identities. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.